This is a quick meeting to show you how to set up your Zoom meeting, what settings I recommend you use, and then I'm also going to show you how to share the meeting invitation on your Moodle course homepage so that students have an easy, consistent place to access meetings. All right, so to get started, all of you should have gotten a Zoom account activation email from me. If you didn't get one, check your junk folder. If you still don't see one, shoot me an email and I'll be glad to resend it. If you've activated your Zoom account, then you can go to zoom.us to log in. I'm already logged in. You can see I can click on this link in the upper right corner, My Account. That's where I want to go. Now, depending on which page you're on Zoom, sometimes you won't see that My Account link, but you will probably, usually in that case, see a profile picture. If you've uploaded a profile picture, then that's what you'll see. If you're like me and didn't bother to upload a profile picture to Zoom, then you'll see kind of one of those gray generic profile picture heads where it's not really, it's just a sort of outline of a head. If you click on that image itself, that's the link to go to your account. So let's go to your account right now. All right, it drops us on this profile page. Here is your personal meeting ID and the link to your personal Zoom meeting room, and that's what we're going to use to share with students so that we can have a nice permanent Zoom meeting that's always available. But I want to let you set up the settings if you want to. So to do that, we're going to go to this on the left-hand side of your screen. We're going to click on Meetings. All right, and then these top headings up here, we're going to click on Personal Meeting Room. Okay, so here's the same link again, the meeting ID. Over here on the right-hand side, you can copy this invitation. And if we scroll down just a bit, we see the settings that we currently have set up for this meeting. So let's go through each one of these. And in case you do want to edit any of these settings, I'm going to go ahead and click on Edit this meeting. And we'll just go through the settings one by one. Okay, so personal meeting ID, you can change that if you want to. I don't know, I'm not sure why you would want to, but you can. Meeting password. I would not require a meeting password for your class meetings, simply because, we don't need to add any additional barriers for students to access the course meeting. Scrolling down just a bit, so for video, host and participant, these are both currently set to off. What that means is that when you or your students first log into the meeting, the Zoom meeting, is their webcam video, is it going to be on by default or is it going to be turned off by default? I recommend off because that will save you and save your students from any awkward video in case someone is not expecting to be on video when they join the meeting. I have some stories about that I've seen in Zoom meetings that I've been to where folks kind of like one gentleman joined from his hotel room and was shirtless. Obviously wasn't expecting to be on video right away, but so avoid that situation and just leave it off. For audio, set this to both so that students can join either by their computer audio or they can dial the phone number and access the meeting on their telephone. For meeting options, enable join before host. This is entirely up to you whether you want to check that or not. If you check it, students would now be able to join the meeting room before you got there, and really kind of any time they wanted to join in, even if you weren't there. That might be something to consider if you want to give students a space to meet with one another, discuss the course, help each other out. that would be perfectly fine. On the other hand, if you don't want students meeting virtually when you're not there, then uncheck that. Mute participants upon entry. I would check that, at least for when you're getting started, because some of your students may not be familiar with Zoom. They might have to learn how to mute themselves, and in the first meeting or two, you could end up with folks with a lot of background noise. So just avoid that situation. Mute everybody when they first enter the meeting, and then they can always unmute themselves. Enable a waiting room. That just is a message that pops up. I leave that to. It's a little virtual spot, like a holding area before the meeting starts. You don't have to check it. If you don't check it, I think there's they'll get if they try to join early and you haven't checked this enable before host, or enable join before host, then I think they'll just get a message saying that the meeting hasn't started yet. Okay, only authenticated users can join. I would leave that unchecked. Again, we don't want to throw up additional barriers. And then we have record the meeting automatically. That is entirely up to you. That could be useful, but again, keep in mind that if you have enabled join before host, then you may not want that recording when students are meeting. Okay, you can assign someone to be an alternative host if you want to. Once you've made your settings, just click on Save. All right. You can come here and click on the Start Meeting button to start the meeting anytime. Otherwise, you can also just click on this link. Now comes the part where we're going to share the invitation and the meeting details with students in Moodle. So to get the information, I will usually click this link on the right-hand side. It says Copy the Invitation, if you look over here on the right-hand side of their screen. So we'll click that, and we'll get a little pop-up menu. And I will click on Copy Meeting Invitation. Copies all of it. Great. Now, let's come over here to Moodle. This is my fake Moodle course. I am going to paste this meeting information at the very top, tippy top of my page. So as always, if I want to make any changes in my course, I start by turning editing on. It's already on in this course, but if it wasn't, turn it on. And then I can click this little gear icon here to open up to make the top part of my course editable. All right, and then what I can do is I can simply paste this information in here. And that's a lot bigger than what I wanted it to be. Let's see here. If we highlight all of that and then just turn that into paragraph. There we go, much better. Okay, did you see what I did? I highlighted all the text that was too big, and then I clicked on this. This is the Styles button, the one that just has an A and a little drop-down arrow, and I changed it to paragraph. And that was how I got it to look, the font to be a normal size. Okay. And then just go through the text and prune this as you see fit. Yeah, so I'll probably click that. This I might change to class meetings. Join the Zoom session. Okay, so one thing I do want to do is I want to turn this into a hyperlink. So I'm going to highlight that URL, that web address. I'm going to highlight that. And I'm going to come up here to this button that looks like links in a chain. Click on that. Oops. I guess I first should have copied that. So we'll right-click on that, and then we'll click on Copy. There we go. Now we'll click on the links in the chain. And then enter the URL. We are going to paste that in there. And I'm going to check this box to open in a new window. That way it's not replacing Moodle, it's just going to open up in a new tab. Okay, click the Create Link button. There we are. Terrific. And then if you like, you can leave the phone number information here. Students will probably be a bit confused about which phone number they should use. Really, they can use any of them. Yeah. And if you want, you can do the same thing. If you want to give students the option of, trying to find their local number, you could turn this into the hyperlink in the same way. Okay, so we click on Save Changes. And there we are. Now the meeting info is in the course for the whole block. And then when students want to join, and when you want to join the meeting, all you have to do is just click on that link, and then it's going to open up your Zoom meeting. And that's all there is to it. All right, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Otherwise, enjoy. All right, thanks everyone. Stay safe.